Angela, let me bring you in here. When we heard Emmanuel Macron speak earlier, he vowed a response to what he called the anger of far-right voters. We've been talking about this since the beginning of the campaign, how divided the country feels, how people are really lining up behind not just Marine Le Pen, but other far-right candidates like we saw in the first round. What is President Macron going to do now to reach out across the divide?
Well, I think just to allude back to what Mathieu said, it is a really blunt instrument, this Republican bloc. And it is eating away at French democracy in a way, because those people who vote far right and who vote for Marine Le Pen, their numbers are increasing year after year. And year after year, they see themselves, in their view, cheated of a vote. Their grievances are never addressed because each time they are thwarted by a bigger majority on the other side. Emmanuel Macron is fully aware of that. We've seen also there is some demonstrations in the streets from the far left. France is extremely divided on very many different axes at the moment. There's an urban-rural divide. There are people on the far left who feel that they were left between a rock and a hard place here with this choice that they were given either a far-right candidate or, in their view, a liberal economic centre-right, even right-wing candidate in Emmanuel Macron. There are the Gilets jaunes who still are out there angry, who feel they are forgotten France, who are priced out of urban city centres, live on the outskirts of towns and feel that their needs are not addressed, that they're lectured by bobos, by urban intellectuals.
Bohemian bourgeois, just to explain to our international viewers.
Who lecture them on using bicycles and not using their cars, and they are forced to use them. They live in rural areas or outside city centres, and to get about they need their cars. So there's a lot of disgruntled people. Emmanuel Macron is fully aware of this. In terms of reaching out, because they're all such different groups, that's going to be quite difficult. It will also depend enormously on what happens, and I know we're going to talk about this later, in the legislative elections, in the parliamentary elections here in France, whether he gets a majority or not, and how the other groups are represented as to how far he will try to enact some of his tougher policies.